I'm sad that my gaming videos don't do as well as my Warhammer reactions. And I feel like at this point, maybe I should just fucking play Warhammer and post it on my YouTube. Like maybe I should turn into a Warhammer VTuber or something. I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna be learning about the Dark Mechanicum, the Adeptus Custodes, and the Orcs. Or should I have the Orcs be their own thing? I kind of want to watch all of this. It depends on how long the video is. If the video ends up being like, I don't know, more like if it's like 30 minutes, I'll watch the Orcs. If it's less than if it's like close to an hour, then I'll continue. I'll leave the Orcs for the next episode, next reaction in the next episode. When I was a busser and he came to my wait, what? That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Anyway, say hi to YouTube chat if you guys want to say hi to YouTube. No. just no. Alright, we'll begin. Can't make me. It's a mage. Alright. Is the audio fine? The Dark Mechanicum.
Ruinous powers claimed during the Horus Heresy extended beyond just the Space Marines and the Primarchs. Mars itself was subject to a revolution that saw half of them fall to chaos as well. And some of the once loyal knight houses saw themselves swearing fealty to the dark gods. The falling of—
Wait, even the knights? Wait, even the knights? Wait, the knights? I thought the knights were a completely different, like, planet. I thought they weren't on Mars. Or were you just saying, like, even the knights got affected by chaos? Is that what he's saying? Is that what Bricky's saying? That like even the knights got affected? Is that it? Like even the knights got affected? Just by how far some knights. Oh, some knights were on Mars. I see.
These factions allows for the war machine of chaos to continue uninterrupted and to have firepower equal to that of the Imperium itself. The Dark Mechanicum, as the name suggests, is the chaos-affiliated branch of the Mechanicus, and have a lot more free
the Mechanicum
reign,
absorbed them into an. Oh, okay, that's cool.
The seeds of the Dark Mechanicum were planted fairly early due to some of the Mechanicum not really seeing the Emperor as the Omnissiah immediately, and Horus exploited this to allow the schism to happen a bit more naturally. Unlike their Imperial brothers, the Dark Mechanicum have the ability to invent and innovate. What a concept. While also—
Oh wow, that's... I'm gonna assume that the Dark Mechanicum do get fucking mutated beyond belief, but it's so funny that, like, compared to the heresy that is the Chaos Space Marine, the heresy that is the Dark Mechanicum is just, oh, I made a spork. Fuck you guys. Well, spoon, fork, I put them together. I am now evil. I know it's more than that. I know it's more than that, but like in the grand scheme of the Mechanicum, that's that's funny.
utilizing forbidden technologies such as the Silica Animus or AI. The Dark Mechanicum do have their own desires to find lost technologies and put them to use, but they're more interested in taking ancient and forbidden technology from Imperial worlds and activating them for their own purposes. Because what good is a bunch of knob and tube wiring if you don't overload it with as many extension cords as possible?
Holy shit, the extension cord in that. I can be creative. I'm evil now. I know, right? By the way, can I just mention? I want to go back. This motherfucker looks so cool. Look at him. What the fuck? He looks so damn cool. What the hell?
Knob and tube wiring if you don't overload it with as many extension cords
Holy
as
folks,
possible.
hi, cats.
However, instead of being clear-cut and more generalized creations, the inventions of the Dark Mechanicum are inherently tied with the warp and its demons. Genetic experimentation and
Oh, okay. here comes the chaos part of all of it. Oh. Okay. I see. I see. Therein lies the chaos part and why. Okay, yeah.
The fusion of man and machine are.
Although it would be really funny if all the Dark Mechanicum is just like, holy shit, we made a fucking spork. I understand that in the world of grim dark, it's not gonna be that case. It'd be really funny though if they're like microwave. We put an AI on that bitch, and we're fucking evil now. We made the Samsung smart fridge. We can make a knife slightly better without an already existing file. Yeah, exactly. Like that, that's all the Dark Mechanicum is. They're still like they're aligned to the chaos, but they don't do any like they don't do any like chaos shenanigans. All they are is they're just a Mechanicum, but like they actually use AI and they in like what's it called? They innovate. That's it. Okay, herein lies the chaos.
Exceptionally common, and no creation is more reflective of this than the demon engines. Instead of regular tanks and vehicles,
Yo, the demon engine sounds so cool.
the demon engines are machines bound with the presence of demons to make them living war machines. Unlike the vehicles of the Imperium, where a Mechanicus priest may be there to aid in its repair, a warpsmith sorcerer is there to essentially repair and irritate the demon engine so that it can be a more effective killing machine. In certain factions, like the bitter and siege-loving Iron Warriors, they
just mentioned these like this appearance makes me think of it's that game again, System Shock. Is that I remember playing something like that. Where it's like the face of a woman, and then she has like tubes on her the sides of her face. They all become DIY content creators. They just become Quabblecop. Quabblepop, I mean. Oh no, I'm sorry.
They will lure demons with the promise of glory and easy bloodletting, only to then forcibly trap them into these demonic engines to use as weapons of war against the Imperium. Some lesser gods, like Vashtor the Archifane.
This is a lesser god? What the fuck is this thing? He looks so cool. He looks so cool. He kind of looks like Scarecrow, actually. This kind of makes him look like Scarecrow from DC.
Is also a contract and arms dealer for the demonic stuff that comes out of chaos. Many demons may sign a pact with Vashtor in the soul forges of the warp, and in doing so are given the weapons of war to kill as much as they can. Should they do so,
cool.
Excellent, you may keep it. Should you not, I hope you enjoy your soul working in the forges for all eternity. That's what you signed with blood and oil. In addition, much like their ties in the Loyalist realm, the Dark Mechanicum and the Chaos Knight houses are deeply intertwined. There were, of course, many Knight houses that swore fealty and bent the knee to War Master Horus during the heresy, but a good portion of them had no choice, as they were absorbed by warp storms and corrupted into compliance. Many of these Chaos Knights reflect the very early Dark Age technology Knights with more corrupted weapons. The Thro Mechanicum, which once had a noble sitting and taking control of generations of previous drivers and taming a beast, is now a saddle to a monstrosity of wrath and hatred. The nobles of the Chaos Knights fight to aggravate and bring the machine to their will.
So are the knights mostly like are most this is before Bricky explains. I'm just making a prediction. But are most knights, based on what Bricky has said, are most knights like more corn knee bent? Are they mostly bending the knee to corn, at least based on what he's saying? You merely adopted the heresy, Batman. I was born. No, that's Bane. That's not Scarecrow.
Combating the corrupted minds of their fallen ancestors. Some of these nobles may do such a good job that they themselves fuse into the throne itself and become one with the knight.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh. So the riders for Chaos Knights basically just become the knight itself. Oh.
If a noble dies, no worries at all. Unlike the Imperial ones that require a pilot, a demon can hop into the cockpit and control it instead. The Night Worlds also see full corruption as well. Where there were once peasants, there are now cultists, and the goal of the Chaos Knights are just as chaotic as the gods they follow. Some are sent to war by the ruinous powers. Others may protect Dark Mechanicum Forge worlds, and others still may be so hyped up on the ruinous powers that they are just aimless and reckless, hoping to unravel the fabric of the universe itself. Though the
That's fucking... Oh my days. Turn off the stream. Your actual webcam just turned off. What the hell? What the hell? Like, what the hell? The Knights are kind of cool. The Knights were probably one of my favorites. Okay, in terms of the Imperium, my favorites were still the Knights and the Guardsmen. They were still my favorites. And now in the Chaos side of things, they're still my favorites. What the hell? The Knights are so cool. Even after being... I was about to say Yassified, but no, that's not the word. The Chaosified. You can see why I messed up and almost said Yassified. But even after getting Chaos, I think that's better. Chaosified. What the fuck? Chaos. They still have like some semblance, like they have like some semblance of like wow, my eyes go fuck. Chaosified. They have like some semblance of a system still, where instead of like peasants, just like Bricky said, Yassified is so cute. What the hell? Says the bi guy. Did you know bi people are the most gay people? Not only do they like men, they also like women who like men. That's pretty gay. I'm sorry. But yeah, I love the Knights. I love the Knights, even in Chaos.
Aspect of nobility is still there with the Chaos Knight, but it's hardly the same as it is on the
days,
Imperial
the
side.
fucking
As opposed
Discord.
to a beautiful knightly stallion, the Knights here are horrifying and unpredictable monstrosities, fueled in part by the agony of the memories of the ancestors trapped within. An invasion by a house of Chaos Knights is a horrifying thing. One might ask, how do...
Holy shit, could you imagine? Oh, you correct this bi person. I see, I told you. Yeah, I told you. That's why I mentioned bi, mother. I know you're bi. But yeah, like this is so fucking... Can you imagine seeing this? Like you see in the horizon, you're like looking out in the horizon, and the fucking gigantic fucking thing with like a face just starts walking towards you. Holy shit.
Knights enter the battlefield. Normally they can be deployed via dropships the standard way, but Imperial Knights can be deployed with a drop keep. A gigantic knight keep with like towers and stuff will hurtle towards the surface like a drop pod and be slammed into the ground with an excessively thunderous crash. Then, massive drawbridges slam down, banners unfurl, and huge horns play the song of their people as these lumbering robots charge out of their, again, drop keep to fight for the Imperium. So
what the fuck? That is so extra. I love the Knights even more now. What the fuck? That is so extra. That is so... What the fuck? That's so unnecessary. That's so extra. You're getting swarmed by demons. You get hope from the heavy thuds. It's one of your own knights that protect your settlement, only for a chaos knight to turn on you. Holy shit, that's so extra.
Imagine what a warp-fueled version of this could look like.
Oh my days, that's terrifying.
You should kill yourself.
Or guardsmen.
Chaos Knights have such a presence, the warp fluctuates in their tread. They bring doom, dread, and despair across the battlefield. Warps.
What? What? 15 times your yogurt mail, super rare. And is it better than alpha? What the fuck? That can't be a thing.
They bring doom, dread, and despair across the battlefield. Warp storms occur overhead.
Yo, is that what a fucking warp storm looks like? What the fuck? That looks so cool. That looks so cool. That's what a warp storm looks like. What the fuck? That looks so cool.
Phenomenon cling to them. A Chaos Knight will arrive either in some warp-debased platform or perhaps a portal itself, or climb out of a pool of blood. As the air gets heavy, the enemy feels a crippling sense of paranoia, and the sky begins to rain blood, acid, and God knows what else. The horrors of the warp have
being cool. Can the knights be? Okay, no, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I love the Tyranids. By design, they're just little bug boys. I like them. They're very nice to look at. The Knights are my favorite now. Like, it's official. The Knights and the Chaos Knights are my favorite faction so far in 40K. In terms of the Chaos Gods, Papa Zinch, still obvious. But in terms of the factions, so far, none of the faction really spoke to me outside of the Knights. Right? Like, the Knights spoke to me when Bricky first, brought them up, and I was like, they're the coolest fucking things in the Imperium. I don't like the Imperium, but I like the Knights. And they seem to be their own fucking thing, right? They seem to be their own bloody system, even if they're within the Imperium. No, they're my favorite now. At least until we get to the Tyranid. Then we'll see if the Tyranids will become back to my favorite, or the Knights are my favorite. But like, oh my days, I fucking love the Knights. The Knights are my favorite. Holy shit. I think the Chaos Knights. No, the fucking dropship thing is so extra. But like the portals and the blood thing, I think I still like the Knights more. Like the regular Knights, I think I like them a little more. I think I like the regular Knights a little more. Oh my days, the Knights are my favorite.
Dramatic change in technology in the favor of their forces. Though in practice, it is a horror beyond comprehension.
So basically, wait, Chaos Knights, when they appear, they're basically being Elden Ring, Dark Souls boss battles. I was about to say Alduin, but that's Skyrim. Who's the boss in Dark Souls 3? The sludge monster eating Gwendolyn's pussy. I don't remember. I don't remember his name. God Eater. I forgot his name. Pretty easy boss, all things considered, unless you fuck up once. Magic just gets swarmed on you. Forgot his name. I had an easy time with him as a strength build main. I had a pretty easy time killing him in a couple swings. But yeah. No. The better one is the one reborn from Bloodborne. That it's basically the knights. They just get summoned by a pool of blood. It's just a fucking one reborn. They really are just a Bloodborne boss.
Their baseline desires don't seem that radical on paper. They are creative builders, working to innovate and improve technology while utilizing anything they can to accomplish their STEM goals. Looking at the dark forces of chaos and the Emperor now on his golden throne, humanity is fractured. The Emperor himself is the guiding light for warp travel for humanity and in being that exists as a beacon for the entire species. Without him, things would get somehow worse. Therefore, he needs his protectors. Where a Thunder Warrior wasn't enough for his armies and half of his Space Marines turned traitor, the Emperor's personal body.
Yeah, I mean, I would make sense given he's like a half-dead corpse. I mean, a half-living corpse, more like. He's a half-living corpse, so that makes sense that he needs his custodian.
Guards are something else entirely. They are not the fallible Astartes, nor are they a nightmarish concoction of organs and indoctrination. They are built and gene-crafted with science bordering on magic. They number 10,000 strong, and each of them is a hero. They are
the Adeptus Custodes. Wait, is it Custodes or Custodes? The Adeptus Custodes? Custodies? They seem fucking cool. Are they like the knights? Fuck is his name from Dark Souls 1? Actually, no. If there's multiple of them, they would be more like the Watcher Knights from Dark Souls 3. I've been in a Dark Souls binge. I don't know if you can tell. I miss playing Dark Souls. I wish I didn't sell my PS4. I had Bloodborne on there. I had Dark Souls 3, Sekiro. I miss Dark Souls. I want to play Dark Souls. I want to play Elden Ring. I want to play Elden Ring. Not right now though. I have a Pal World to record.
Rare is the battle where an Emperor's custodians outnumber our foes. We are ever beset.
Anybody see that fuckbag Angron? I got some shit to say.
Surrounded upon all sides by heresy and foulness, just as is Terra itself. Yet, like the throne world, we stand resolute, indefatigable, indomitable. Let the enemy come. Let them darken the horizon with their numbers. Still, we will prevail. Though the Emperor sits rotting on the golden throne, his talons remain sharp. The talons of the Emperor was the name given to the most elite forces at his disposal. The left hand of his talons comes in the form of the Sisters of Silence, psychic blanks that scour the galaxy.
Sisters of Silence? What? I thought they were the Sisters of Battle, or unless they were a whole different thing. Are the Sisters of Battle a whole different thing from the Sisters of Silence? I've never heard of the Sisters of Silence.
Galaxy to claim souls to fuel the Astronomicon in the form of the Great Tide. 1,000 psychers sacrificed daily to keep the Emperor of Mankind alive, dragged into the black ships of the Silent Sisterhood. The right hand of the Emperor's protectorate, his golden bodyguards that serve him and only him. These are the custodians. While the members of the Space Marines went out to take back the galaxy, the Legio Custodes stood back and kept
they're anti-psychers, I see.
a close watch over the Emperor himself. The Custodes are, in a sense, similar to Space Marines in that they are genetically modified super soldiers clad in power armor, but that is where the similarities stop. Their genetic makeup seems to be made from the Emperor himself, or at least something quite close. And the precision of their creation predates
I have a bit of a sore throat thing going on.
Unlike there seems to be made from the Emperor himself, or at least something quite close. And the precision of their creation predates the development of the Space Marines and even the Primarchs. Unlike Space Marine recruitment, where there's a process undertaken when a subject is at least somewhat grown, a custodian's process begins at infancy. The methods in which they are made are a secret, but what is known is that at the very beginning, each custodian was made by the Emperor himself.
Are these hover motorcycles? Holy shit, that goes hard. These motherfuckers are jousting on hover cycles.
Regardless of the bioalchemical process, the process is exceptionally long and grueling, and only a handful of selected aspirants make it to the end. Those that do are clad in the most regal and effective armor in the Imperium. Commonly, a custodian is seen carrying a guardian spear, an utterly yoked up version of the staves the Praetorian Guards of the Emperor in Star Wars had. They are also clad with specific shields and blades. But the most interesting thing with all of their gear is that due to the meticulous and dedicated maintenance and preservation of their armor and gear, these items are the same ones they used 10,000 years ago. The custodians do not age biologically, so some of the
and there can be girls. Well, I would assume that if they're birthed and created basically to be Adeptus Custodes, they wouldn't give a shit about gender. If they were just going to breed them to make sure that they become Custodians. There aren't female space marines. Well, yeah, they were. You had to be like grown into it. These motherfuckers are born into it. So no. Oh, I guess they could be like, oh, it's a woman. It's a girl. Don't. That one's not selected. Okay, that's cool. That there can be girls in the Adeptus 30s. People got butt hurt. Why? Why? I don't swing that way, but like, fellas, hot muscle women in armor is hot. What the hell do you have anything to be worried about? Like, why are you complaining? Why are you complaining? I don't even swing that way and I'm not complaining. Like, huh? Giant golden muscle mommies. Exactly. I don't understand why people are pissed about this. Hello? Like, I like me a big dude, but I'm not gonna say no to a big muscle mommy. Actually, I would, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't see this as a negative. Honestly, I feel like the only people that would get pissed about this are just people who are insecure about their masculinity. You know? Yeah, it's that like really like it's that they're taller than Space Marines. I don't see a fucking problem with this. Again, don't you want a tall, big muscle mommy? Hello? Uh, but yeah, like 9 feet. Holy shit. That is tall. Point still stands though. Point still stands. I like how every time I look at my screen, my left eye gets fucked. That's funny. Um, but yeah, like I like guys, but I don't see the fucking problem about hot women being part of this. Hello? I don't get it. I don't get why people get butt hurt by that. That just seems like a net positive. No? Is that not just a net positive? I feel like the people like I like I mentioned earlier, I feel like the only people actually getting butt hurt with the idea of women being part of like this cool fucking like badass fucking regiment are just mostly insecure men who think women shouldn't be stronger than them or equal to them. And it's kind of like that study that probably isn't really fully scientific, but it's still scientific enough of a study of like men in lower elo have a like getting pissed at women but being more submissive towards their better male teammates um while being more toxic to the women in their elo. It's like when I was playing, now granted, you know, my physical condition and the genetic condition I have. Most people assume when they speak to me, fucking when they look at me, that I'm a woman. And I've noticed that ever since I dropped to bronze for some reason, I shouldn't even be. In Valorant, there's been a lot of intoxic people in my in my Dude. There's been a lot of toxic people whenever I turn on my mic. But in higher elo, I never when I was like playing in diamond and like high like mid diamond, low diamond, high diamond like ish. I wasn't getting many toxic people in voice when I was playing But that was when I played Valorant. I haven't played in a long time, and I should get back on the grind. I really should. Anyway.
Veterans in the Guard may be several thousand years old, and unlike the
What
Space
the hell?
Marines,
What?
they fight entirely as a solo force. When a line of custodians is holding back waves of enemies, they operate independently. There are no battle formations, there are no squad tactics. Each custodian is the main character, trailed by serfs and servitors, tasked entirely.
Holy shit. So one custodian, just a single custodian is like enough. That's so fucking cool.
Entirely to reload their weapons, they fight with a singular purpose, if not action. Groups of custodians will dispatch enemy after enemy, their spears coming within inches of each other, but never close enough for a killing blow. Their strikes are intentionally defensive, allowing their opponents to attack 1 to 2 times before parrying and ending their lives. Each strike deflected is an opportunity to know their enemy more and learn from their patterns. They are truly the Emperor's bodyguards, masters of close combat, enemy knowledge, and reactions measured in milliseconds. Though the custodians are a part of the Adeptus Terra, reactions measured in milliseconds. Though the custodians are a part of the Adeptus Terra, the members of the Guard only answer to their own leadership and the Emperor himself. The leader of the custodians is known as the Captain General, and individual squads of custodians are overseen by a shield captain. As their focus is on the Emperor, their commands.
What the fuck? The entire Adeptus Custodes is led by one guy, other than, of course, the Emperor. Just led by one guy, and then he has like other captains under him to control platoons. That's fucking what the hell? That's such a stressful job.
Center is located within the Imperial Palace. The Tower of Hegemon serves as their primary base of operations, but there is a dedicated elite guard of custodians known as the Companions that stands 300 strong by the Emperor's side. In total, the custodians are
fucking hell, that armor! Look at that thing! Holy. I'm wet. No, let's not say I'm wet. Let's not say that. I like armor. What do you want from me?
And when a member retires, their name is added to the Hall of Name and vanish across the galaxy in a cloaked disguise to serve as eyes and ears for the Imperium. Despite their numbers and their strength, the members of the Custodians do not consider themselves to be soldiers or warriors in any way. They see themselves strictly as the guardians of the Emperor in all facets.
Oh wow. No. Actually, that's so cool. It's like a lot of guardsmen, not like guardsmen 40k, but a lot of people who a lot of like roles where they see themselves as like a guard, like a guard of like the Emperor or something. They usually are like really fucking strong. In most media, that is the case. I hate this fucking camera fucking activated bill that's showing up. Hold on, let me turn that shit off. How do we turn that shit off? Camera has officially been turned off. But yeah, like, look at the Watcher Knight. Look at the Watcher Knights. Or no, not the Watcher Knights. I think they're called the Abyssal Knights? Abyss Knights? Something like that in Dark Souls 3. They saw themselves not like servants, but they saw them as like the guardsmen of Gwyn or something like that, Guardian of the Flame or whatever. Abyss Watchers! Yeah! It's been years I played Dark Souls 3, okay? Watcher Knight. That's in Hollow Knight. Anyway.
Presence. This extends beyond the physical. Custodians believe they represent the guarding of the Emperor's ideals and philosophies too. Their gains are both physical and literary. They are the protectorates of everything the Emperor stood for, and in doing so, the Custodians are also artisans and scholars, in addition to being the Golden Guard of the Golden Throne. However, due to the
what the fuck? They're literally everything, aren't they? What the hell? They're literally everything. They hold grudges on Space Marine. Wait, what? Is it because they became Chaos Space Marines?
This nature of being protectorates, they have a very strong view when it comes to the Space Marines and the Primarchs.
Oh.
The Emperor himself had insinuated many times that once the galaxy was brought to heel, that there would be no need for the Space Marines anymore. And they were to go the same way that the Thunder Warriors went before them. The Custodians were meant to be the judge, jury, and executioner of this will, and are biologically designed not only to be able to take down Space Marine with ease, but to be able to go toe-to-toe with the Primarch as well. During the heresy, the
What the fuck? They're that powerful? There's a bunch of things down to Chaos. Oh, I see. What the fuck? I thought the Primarchs were supposed to be these fucking godlike, not godlike, but godlike powerful beings. These things are supposed to go toe to toe with Primarchs? Fucking hell.
Custodians muse on how suspiciously easy it was to kill Chaos Space Marines, as if they were trained and made for that explicit purpose. Constantine Valdor, one of the closest advisors of the Emperor, was asked if he ever disagreed with Big E on something, and he said once, with the formation of the Primarchs.
I feel I do my best, but they don't.
Let me ask you a very fair question. What do you do successfully? Quickly.
I hate that every time we're in Untucked, the conversations are about me.
And besides the trained distrust for Space Marines, the Custodians also have evidence for their distrust. The Horus Heresy saw half of the chapters fall to chaos and turn traitor against the Emperor. In the mind of a Custodian, the fact that half of the Space Marines fell before means that the other half can fall with ease. They are fully capable of wiping out literally any form.
I can understand why they would feel that way or think that way. I completely understand that. Because I think I would have like the same thought process as well. But I would still I would have the thought process, but I would still choose to. It might be because I'm not gullible, but it might just be a naive fuck. But I still want to believe. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, one half did fall. The other half could fall. But they could also be extremely loyal. You know what I mean? I try to see good while keeping my own negative thoughts mostly back. Thanks to positive thoughts. It's always better to keep. It's never good to let go of negative thoughts, but it's better to push our positivity than it is negative.
Force put against them, and in a sense are the final representation of the golden age of terror. However, they are forced to stand in silent and blind service to the Emperor and to the ill of the Imperium. And they, for 10,000 years, have stood vigil over the Imperium and have watched its rise and fall with the inability to do anything about it. While they do go out and fight some battles here and there, at the end of the day, the vastness of the Imperium means that the closest advisors to the Emperor himself are powerless.
Hi Z, are you watching me on stream? Guys, we're learning about Warhammer here. Hi Scout, hi Z, hi Sun. How are you doing? But yeah, so as cool and as powerful as the Adeptus the Adeptus Custodes are, in the grand scheme of things, they're fucking useless. Yeah, they are the guard to the Emperor, but fuck, they're basically useless in the grand scheme of things. They just watch without being able to do anything. That's kind of sad. Anyway, how goes Silent Hill 4F? Whatever it's called. I still need to. I know nothing about Warhammer, but fuck yeah. All you need to understand is this thing is cool as shit, and Jake has gotten me the fucking has made me fall into the rabbit hole that is Warhammer. I finally beat it, but died 3 times in the final boss fight. Ooh, damn, that sucks. Things change, and now they take a more active role. Oh, okay. Okay. We love the character development.
To make any change. But goddamn, can they kill a space marine? For 100 years, I stood my watch amidst the somber shadows of the Sanctum Imperialis. I was still as a statue, but always ready, always attuned to dangers unseen. Days, months, years passed by in a frenzied blur beyond those walls, yet within, little moved and nothing changed. For 100 years, I did not but wait. Yet had any threat appeared, I would have struck it down in a heartbeat. For 100 years I stood my watch, and as it ends, I tell you this: patience is a weapon. Of course,
That's fucking cool. That's fucking cool. But at the same time, it's kind of sad, no? Like, it's still kind of sad that, like, they're this, like, really powerful fucking, like, group, and they couldn't really do much during the rise again, fall again of the Imperium. That's really sad. But like, oh man, we're 40 minutes in. Actually, no, we're about 40 minutes into the recording. Should I continue with the orcs, or should I leave that to the next part?
a threat directly to Terra itself would appear to be something foolish. It's in the deepest parts of Imperial space and is one of the most defended bastions in the galaxy. You'd truly have to be foolhardy or insane to think that you can take on Terra itself. However, one faction certainly got close. In the dark ages of the stars and in
The
a
orcs
river
got
of
close?
misery,
What?
there is one faction having a cracking old time. The galaxy sees them as savages, yet they have already figured out the questions of the universe. Their numbers are uncountable, their technology incomprehensible, and yet their violence is so very green. I am, of course, talking about the
What the fuck? What the fuck? Asterix KON. What the fuck? Why are the orcs represented by Britain? Why are the orcs represented by the U? What the fuck? Why are they represented by the Union Jack? Because the accents. Orcs are British. Orcs are Englishmen. Oh, it makes so much sense. I'm sorry. What the? Why are orcs? Orcs are Englishmen. What? I did not expect. No, I did not. I did not expect. I did not expect that. That was not expected. I didn't expect Bricky to just fucking show the Union Jack with orcs Warhammer 40k accent. What the fuck?
Do you know about the orc that was able to tap?
No.
The fighting bugs eat the boys. The fighting bugs make more bugs by eating. If we grow the boys faster than the bugs can eat them, the war never ends!
It's just from Britain. They're just Londoners. What the fuck?
Did these orcs seem smarter, or... Well, we managed to capture an orc and he said,
We've been writing red because red makes you go faster, so our boss said, Oi, maybe it makes your kids learn faster. So as we wrote in red, and now we smarter, and we almost stopped fighting to contemplate life, but it got Barbog all depressed and he cramped himself, so now's the boss says we can't read no more.
They're just Londoners. What the fuck? What the fuck? What in the hell? What is this faction? I need to learn about them. I want to learn about them. No. We're not leaving this for the next episode. No. We're continuing. We're watching the orc. No, 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 no. We're watching the orcs. We're learning about the orcs. What the fuck? Oh no, the video is going. I already know which thumbnail is going to be the thing that I already know which thumbnail will get most of the clicks, and it'll be the one with the orcs. Oh no, yeah, we're learning about the orcs. I don't care how long this video will be. We're gonna learn about the orcs.
The orcs are the pinnacle of creation. For them, the great struggle is won. They have evolved a society which knows no stress or angst. Who are we to judge them? We Eldar who have failed, or the humans on the road to ruin in their turn? And why? Because we saw answers to questions that an orc wouldn't even bother to ask. We see a culture that is strong and despise it as crude. During the war in heaven,
Damn. And that's what the Eldar think of them? Damn.
the old ones were doing their best to spawn as many combatants.
Hey, I'm gonna head out now. Have a good rest of your bye, Thank you so much for coming here.
The Eldar were made possible, and the old ones were doing their best to spawn as many combatants to their cause as possible by seeding the galaxy in a specialized sense. The Eldar were made to be a precise and tactical species to fight off the Catan and the Necrons, but another prominent species was made by them as well. The
Gregs.
Krork were warriors clad in ornate armor with more dangerous weaponry. However, things changed, and these warriors changed, and the Krork are no more. They are now known as the boys, the lads, the mates, the orcs, 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 orcs. An orc in 40k looks like an orc in most other fantasy media. Hulking, warlike monstrosities with big teeth and worse attitudes. However, unlike the more Tolkien-esque forms of these creatures, the devastating nature of the orcs is in their biology. Unlike most species in the galaxy, the orcs are actually a type of fungus. This fungus itself
What? They're a fungus?
comes in various forms. The small goblin-like Gretchen and Snotlings are a part of this fungal ecosystem as
The Snotling. What a fucking name for a race. The Snotlings.
well, and also the Squigs, which can be used for
Squigs. That's such a cute name for a horrific. It's kind of cute.
are a part of this fungal ecosystem as well, and also the Squigs.
I was gonna say, Squigs is such a cute name for something that looks horrifying, and then the more I look at it, no, it's kind of cute. No, it's kind of cute. It's kind of cute. Pull up list of wig types. What? Squig types. Oh my days, they are adorable. What the fuck? They're so cute. Oh my days, look at them. Oh my days, look at them. They're little guys. They're so cute. Ah! Look at this one! What the hell? This one has a gun! No, baby. I might fucking what the hell's wrong with me? I'm tearing up because they're cute. I'm actually tearing up. Oh my days, look at this one! Wigs are so cute. I know there's a lot of them. Squigs are adorable. What the fuck?
Which can be used for
Oh, I'm
basically
sorry.
anything. But
I can't
regardless
see
of what is
shit.
a part of the fungal system,
I hate to admit I teared up because of how far. I don't understand why I tear up when I see something cute. Like if there's a cat and it's being so cute, I tear up. You'll know if I think something is super cute if I start crying. I hate that I cry when something is adorable.
all all of them are born from spores that land on the ground and grow. As they travel around the galaxy, they drop spores literally everywhere, and then an orc dies, and they drop tons of fungal spores that allows for their numbers to be replenished over a period of time. Because of this, orcs are not only extremely prominent across the galaxy, but they are exceptionally resilient due to their growing cycle. Even if one orc lands on a planet, it will be nearly impossible to get rid of all of the orc presence unless the planet itself is completely destroyed. And even then, they might find a way to survive. Due to their fungal nature, orcs don't really stop growing. And the more long-lived an orc is, the bigger they get. And the more an orc fights, the bigger they get. Of course, since they're constantly getting into scraps, an orc's lifespan isn't necessarily that long, so the bigger orcs are harder to find. Though alongside this, however, they are a tribe-based species that is comprised of warbands, and the biggest and the strongest orc leads the warband known as the Warbands. At the bottom end of the orc tribal system are the Gretchens and the Snotlings. These members act as the servants and slaves of the orcs, and sometimes their actual ammunition, despite being
what the fuck? What? Throw the Snotlings! Ready to Snotlings!
smarter and more cunning than their bigger brethren. Because in orc culture, the biggest is the boss. The smallest gets picked on and thrown around. Beyond the warbands and the tribes, orcs also belong to a specific clan. Tribes constantly shatter and rebuild, but the clans do not. They are, in a sense, a psychological state of being for any given orc, and gives an orc their specific character and traits. And to make things easier, these clans are also color-coded. So that's very easy to tell what...
Oh my days. Oh my days. Oh my days. So you have Britain, you have Scotland, you have the Welsh.
orc does what. Though there are many clans out there, 6 of them are the most prominent and well known. The Bad Moons are essentially the merchants and have a lot of money because their currency is teeth, and they grow teeth faster than any others. The Blood Axes are the stealth units, and by stealth it means like slightly more quiet than the others, and they have a love for LARPing as humies. Death Skulls are the scavengers, and the Goths are the close combat specialists. And on the 2 ends of the spectrum, we also have the tech-savvy Evil Sons and the more traditionalist and tribal Snakebites. Another major facet of orcs is their religious beliefs. They believe in 2 gods, Gork and Mork. Gork is cunningly brutal, and Mork is brutally cunning. The difference...
So we have orc corn, and we have orc zinch. Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Is that essentially what it is? There's an orc teleport gun that zaps a snotling into your guts to explode you. No. Oh, okay. Okay. I see. That sounds horrific. What the fuck? An orc teleport gun is insane. What?
Between them, according to orcs, is that Mork hits you when you aren't looking, and Gork hits you when you are. There's a lot of confusion as to which one is which, and this results in a lot of infighting. In other species, this would be considered a sort of religious conflict, but for the orcs, it's just another excuse to fight. I have a quote here, but I don't really do a good orc voice. So I'm going to get my co-host of That's Ridiculous to read this one, and I'll try to lip sync it.
Oh, he's more cunning than a grot and more killy than a dread. The boys that follow me can't be beat. On Piscina, we jumped the Marine boys, and our boss pose was covered in the helmets we took from the dead-ends. We burned their port and killed their bosses and left nothing but ruins behind. I'm Warlord Gezgul Mac Urukdraka, and I speak with the word of the gods. We's gonna stomp the universe flat and kill anything what fights back. We's gonna do this 'cause we're orcs, and we was made to fight and win.
I have a second favorite action. What the fuck are the orcs? I have a second. I didn't know they were just. I didn't know they were just the UK. I have a sec. Like from what people were telling me in the comment sections and what you guys were telling me about the orcs, I was like, I'm gonna love these motherfuckers. I'm gonna love these dumbasses, aren't I? Yeah, I think Tyranids might have gone down into like my number 3. Are the Tyranids? Wow, they are far. Wow, what the fuck is Gene? Well, we're gonna learn about that.
It's fucking.
I'm going to say I like peanut M. I think they're the best M&Ms. Gotta time this with Gene Stealers or with Nids. Oh, okay. I think I will because I plan to have it so given we did 3 here, it's gonna be these 3 as well, and then we're gonna end it off with the Tyranids. Actually, no, it's gonna be these 2, and then we'll end it off with these. I think that's what I'm. So the next faction, and then this one, and then that's done, and then we'll finish up with these 3.
Sounds terrible. Fighting is the biggest aspect of orc culture, and is essentially their life's purpose. They are genetically hardwired to get into battles and scraps with enemies that can feel pain. The more they fight, the bigger they get. This, combined with them getting bigger over time, means that some of the biggest and baddest orcs of all time have been notably gigantic. The Beast, as he was known, was with the size of the Imperial Knight. If an orc runs out of other—
What? Huh? How fucking what the that's terrifying.
enemies to fight, they will immediately start infighting to scratch the battle itch. For example, in the Warp, a planet exists where a band of orcs are in a constant state of war and battle, and have been for an improbably long amount of time, strictly because how much Cord enjoys himself watching it.
Of course. Of course. That makes sense. Closer thing, OG Croc. Oh my.
For some, being trapped in a perpetual war planet for all eternity would be a fate worse than death, but to the boys, this is heaven. In the event of a particularly big battle, a massive amount of tribes and warbands will unite under what is known as the WAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAA
I'm gonna assume that that's not him going wah, as in like Wario, Wario wah, but a war. So, you know, British war.
The first is the group aspect of the massive green tidal wave of orcs fighting for the same cause, the cause being the second base. But the most prominent aspect of the war
Oh my days,
is the psychic aspect.
It isn't even British war. It really is just wah. The fuck?
Of it. Remember how the old ones made the Eldar and all the Eldar are psychic? Well, the orcs are too, kinda, but just not as much. Only a little bit of it. And they often don't know how to use it and frankly don't care. But a huge gathering of orcs generates a psychic field that allows orcs to be more organized, dangerous, and dedicated to the war-based cause. However, the true extent of the psychic energy and its usage is relatively unknown, but that doesn't matter considering the outcome 90% of the time. In a similar sense, their ragtag technology and weaponry is also a mystery to most who encounter it purely because of that WAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAA duct tape and plastic glue, and crude doesn't even begin to describe it. Their guns seem to have an inordinate amount of ammunition and firepower, and they are seemingly able to put things together on the fly in the middle of combat. The Imperium is of the mind that the Orcs' weapons and machinery only work due to their innate psychic ability, but realistically, Orc gear hardly works in the first place. Weapons blow up in a Bugs Bunny-esque manner all the time, and their war buggies can collapse in the middle of battle. Just because it works a handful of times does not mean it's an effective weapon.
I love these motherfuckers. What the fuck?
But this doesn't stop the Orcs and their green tide. To really understand the power of the Wa energy, Orcs can operate purely off of belief. Now, a misconception is that Orcs believe something is real and it happens. But that isn't true, because that's just one Orc. However, there's never one Orc.
Wait. Wait, wait. So it is a thing, but that's just one orc. Wait, what the fuck? Wait, what the fuck? Wait, I thought that was like a misconception. Wait, I thought what? Huh? Wait, huh?
There's normally a few billion orcs together, and if they all believe something is true, the warp will tend to respond with a positive green light. Sometimes. Do the red ones go faster? Well, with enough orcs, yeah. How does an orc buggy with an engine block that's just a boulder with vroom vroom written in chalk work? Who cares? Orcs breathing on a ship with a hull breach? Go ahead. An orc went back in time to kill a version of himself so he could have two of his favorite weapons. It is shenanigans. Because
Orcs operate through toon physics, but not in the level of toon physics. They operate at a realistic version of toon physics. What the fuck?
Because of their actions and aesthetic, the orcs tend to be presented in a comic relief sense in a lot of media, particularly the media from their perspective. They are bumbling and loud and goofy British football hooligans, and they say silly things and act in silly ways. But to the citizens of the Imperium, the orcs are far from funny. They are violent and irrational creatures that take humans for punching bags, slaves, or ultimately dinner. They have no moral compass and are violent and brutal killers that know nothing else. They are genetically designed to be a violent species that was capable of beating back the Necrons and the Catan. And if the orcs were ever able to unify under one banner, they would be utterly unstoppable. However, due to their aggressive nature, their organizational skills are non-existent, and they tend to just beat each other up for the fun of it. All that exists in the mind of an orc is fighting, and nothing else. If they wipe out their enemies, they will inevitably wipe themselves out as well. They are a brutal Ouroboros doomed to an endless war cycle, but to an orc, why does it matter? If they fight and they win, they win. If they fight and they die, it was a good fight. Now that the Xenos armies are growing in strength and more are threatening the safety.
The orcs are insane. What the fuck are the orcs?
Imperium, they need to bring new methods in order to handle what they are currently facing. The Emperor is on the Golden Throne. Half the Space Marines are traitor and they are beset from enemies within and without. So now the Lords on Terra must prepare for anything possible and sometimes the impossible. For that, they take to the stars to explore and expand. They recruit assassins for priority eliminations. They train a galactic police force and a secret police to root out any and all heresy. The lesser known yet most feared.
The Agents of the Imperium. That's fucking cool sounding. What? The Agents of the Imperium? But we will be leaving that for the next reaction. We'll be leaving that for the next reaction. I will be posting the reaction video by Sunday. Gonna be fun. But yeah, not by Monday. What the fuck? I meant by Saturday. Hi, comic. We just finished learning about the orcs, and I'm gonna say this: the knights favorite so far. Knights are my favorite faction. Orcs are a close second. They're just bumbling idiots in their perspective, but they are fucking terrifying. It's sight of that perspective. Anyway, YouTube. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all. And we're going to be watching the Agents of the Imperium and the Adeptus Sororitas in the next reaction. Bye, YouTube. Bye, YouTube.